Hey everybody. So while I was walking, I was getting a lot of messages on food for a starseed, so to speak. Call yourself what you will. Our DNA made up of the stars. It is what it is, whether we're inquisitive and awakened to a broader thought process of what could possibly be versus what we're programmed and kept in a box to believe. So call yourself what you will. It doesn't matter. You are as you are in the I am of all that is. You are what you are in the I am of all that is as a source creator being, as source itself. So how are you going to treat thyself? So the topic of nutrition and diet came up. These are some of the things that my guides were sharing. So I made a few notes, but I've also prepped myself in meditation to sort of already be there and connected. So I'm a little woo-hoo at the moment. All right, so here it goes. Replace the word diet with nutrition, nutritional requirements, and nourishment. So replace the word diet with nourishment. Then you ask yourself, what nutritional requirements do I need in this moment? Depending on my pre-eating and post-activity, what is my caloric intake and what should it look like? Ask your body, what do I need versus what do I want in this moment that would satisfy with a higher octane to my supporting cells and my cells that are needed to keep me in an upright moving position and to keep all my organs rhythmically functioning so that I stay alive. They were also saying, if you don't eat it, don't imitate it. If you don't eat it, don't imitate it. So this would go for, if I don't eat meat, why am I going to buy a product that looks like meat? And what did it take to get that to look like meat? What chemicals, dyes, flavoring were added in there to make it look like meat? i.e. a burger, hot dog, turkey bacon, turkey pepperoni, and above all else, gluten-free foods. What are being used to imitate something you don't eat, whether it be by choice, whether it be by just wanting to omit it in your diet because of allergic reactions, etc. The other big thing was to eat how you feel. Now that's something I've always done. And I take responsibility when I eat things that I know may come back on me. And the older that I've gotten and the more revved up my system is, and the more I multitask on top of multitasking, my digestive tract isn't the same. So I have to be very conscientious what I place in it and what it actually gets digested, because we don't allow digestion time. We're so busy talking, taking in air. We're eating multiple foods that really don't synergistically blend with each other, because somehow in the program we were told these work well, and now they're saying they don't, because your body is telling you they don't. They were also showing me the longer off the vine, the lesser nutritional support, whatever that is, fruits, vegetables, whatever. They were saying buy organic, buy in season, freeze and can as often as you can. Freeze and can as often as you can. Can. They're saying the longer something is refrigerated, the sleepier the food. The longer something is refrigerated, the sleepier the food. So let's think about that for a moment. Apples are generally harvested in the fall from wherever the fruit fields are. And then peaches, whatever it is, and they are stored in large refrigerated warehouses to preserve them from ripening too quickly. So they're basically putting it to sleep. When they take it out of that refrigeration, then it begins to ripen if it has any life left to it at all. So the longer off the vine, the sleepier and the lesser of the nutrition, the sleepier the food. Makes total sense. So maybe in the springtime, when you're buying apples in the store, they've been picked 8-9 months before, and they just don't hold the taste. If you've noticed, they just don't hold the taste. They just don't. And in a lot of places, you don't see peaches in the winter and the spring. So even stores buy when they can from the supporting distributors and farms that supply them. So sometimes we can't get them. And when you do, you have to question GMO. And now we are required for more labels to be on, but are you actually reading your labels? Are you reading them? So buy organic, eat in season, eat per your caloric intake and the action of which you will have before and after. The longer you refrigerate, the sleepier the food. Ask your body, what does it need? Before you ask it what it needs and what it desires, what does my body need right now? Now, the other big thing they were showing me, the importance of preparing your own foods. And to do so as a loving ritual. Not to make it with speed so that you can meal prep and have everything in the refrigerator, but to make it with the preparation of love. The time and your talent goes into the food. It's information that goes into the food. So you're allowing this kinesthetic, tactile information of the food to come into the body, and for the body, which can easily create beautiful energetics, to come back into the food through your fingers and emanating through wherever it is that you're preparing this food. So it's a hearth of health through your heart. Heart of health. Hearth of health through your food is what I'm hearing. Thank you. 3 H's. Had me a little tongue-tied there for a second. But they were showing me to maybe even put on some soft music and to make it celebratory while you're chopping vegetables, while you're preparing things, and to not label things as good or bad. Because there may be times where your body needs more meat, Your body needs more vegetables. Your body needs more fruit. And by the way, that's where you get all of your hydration, is through your foods. Very little through the excessive amounts of water people are being told to drink. Because it's like, they were showing me, it's like taking a sponge and cutting a giant hole out of the middle of it, and then trying to wet the sponge or run more water through the sponge. It goes through the sponge and maybe splashes onto the edges that are left. And that's what happens when we're drinking water. That's what happens when we're taking inexpensive, mass-produced vitamins that aren't of the highest quality. So our body only assimilates higher quality things with food. First off, your supplements with food, or through herbs. It may be a dried process versus a synthetic process. But either way, if you're taking a super high quality supplement, you're generally going to take it based upon your food intake, because your body will go through its digestive and blood absorption process in the small intestines. And then the rest comes out through the large intestines, sometimes slow, sometimes fast, based on how much time you're giving your digestive tract, what it is that you're feeding your digestive tract. And some people just feed to feed. They don't want to think about it. They know it might taste good, and it fills satiation. I just need to eat. And so we have discarded one of the primal celebratory events of food preparation. And so now let's take eating out and things like that. Be very picky about what it is you take in. We already know fast food is a fast way to slow your track and poison your body. Everybody knows this, and yet they don't stop. Or they think if I go pick a salad, it's still filled full of chemicals, so it can last for a couple weeks at that fast food joint. And don't kid yourself if it's not, because it is. All right. So, higher assimilation levels occur when you tactile your foods. When you're preparing your kitchen and your counters, and you're cleaning up, and you're prepping to do what you need to do, and you're just infusing the love and the appreciation of the nutrients, and you're changing the mindset and the emotional set and the heart set to feed and exacerbate the beautiful nutrients of the food that you're preparing for yourself and for others. And I can promise you, if you start practicing this, when you open that food to eat it, you're going to feel that love coming back to you. And you may think twice before you warm it up in the microwave and literally nuke the shit out of it. Seriously. So maybe try different ways of eating things so that they don't necessarily have to be warmed up to eat when you're on the go at work or whatever. Maybe your soup or something is in a hot thermos. Maybe you've warmed it up that morning and it's in an insulated container. Maybe it's dried meat wrapped with fruit. Maybe it's vegetables that you're dipping in something that you created and made that just needed a little bit of refrigeration. But we want to get into eating with our fingers. Yes, less utensils, because these utensils are no longer silver. They're aluminum. They're plated. They're wreaking havoc by putting metals into the body that leach because it doesn't know how to get rid of it. So it leaches in the brain and the veins and everywhere else. So maybe start looking at things where you've got really good stainless steel knives at home. Maybe you have less, but you use them. And then you eat with your fingers out of a glass container versus a plastic container. Or a real good old-fashioned thermos that keeps something warm. And every little thing that you do to step up the pre, during, and post food is all going to come back to you 1,000-fold. Because your body's going to feel the quality versus the quantity. And then the cleaner your cells become, the more selective you're going to get. And then when you're doing and you're at places like I was at the lake this weekend at my sister's, and there were some things I wouldn't normally eat, but I ate them and I blessed them. I blessed them. I felt it all with my fingers. And even though I really am not a huge bread eater, I had my fresh organic burger meat on a bun, and I took a few bites with my bun, as it's done since a child, all falls apart and I never eat it. Because I never liked bread, even as a kid, long before I knew anything about gluten. And then my mom switched over to a religion where they were feeding us fake food, all made out of gluten and soy. And I couldn't stand it. It made no sense. If these people didn't eat meat, why do they make everything look like meat? And the more you make something imitate something else, the more additives, preservatives, chemicals are in it. And then they're in you. You truly don't even know what the hell you're eating. So, replace diet with nutritional nourishment. Ask yourself, what's required for me today? Because today I'm going to be sitting mostly. Or today I'm going to be very active. Or I need to eat now because I will not be able to eat later. Does my body want a fruit? Does it want a protein? What does my body want in this moment so that it fuels my body to the highest caliber? So I have optimal energy to complete every task, every thought, every movement, voluntary and involuntary, within this physical avatar. So I can be the best I can be, and my moods are fantastic. And I'm not getting hangry pants or cravings. So this is a message from the guides to all of you. Please listen to this. Please send it out to your friends. Please let me know in the comments how you're doing. And if you want a one-on-one session with me, info@embodimentofthesoul.com. Like, subscribe, and share. I'll see each of you on the next video.